Christmas is over and now it's time to prepare for 2024. What's up, Casey? It's Guys here. Welcome back to another episode of Gulf Coast Investing, where we talk about all things investing right here on the Gulf Coast. I would love if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great content just like this. So I made a video last week wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, kind of going over some of the cool things that we got to experience as a company and personally this past year, and kind of what we're gearing up for this time of year and getting ready for next year. So hope you check that out. Just a fun little short Christmas message and things like that. This year, or this video, I wanted to get ready for this next coming up year, 2024. So I made a similar video to this last year. And so some of the points will kind of be the same. I wanted to switch some things up and add some things to it and things like that we've been talking about and dealing with and things like that. So wanted to come on here again. Hopefully you're watching this right before 2024 or right at the beginning of 2024. So I wanted to talk about different things that you can do and get ready to, to prepare for a great year. So whether you had a great year or a bad year last year, it's a brand new year, time to set some new goals and, get off to the right foot from the beginning. So the first thing that I would say is to plan. So planning is everything. If you don't have a plan written down and that you can, check against, is it measurable? Is it attainable? All those different things. If you don't have a plan, like they say, if you don't plan, you'll plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you'll plan to fail. So make sure you have that. I'm actually reading Patrick Bet-David's brand new book. I think we talked about a couple weeks ago, a book that he wrote called Your Next 5 Moves, which is an awesome, book talking about how you plan for the future. But he just wrote a brand new book called Choose Your Enemies Wisely, and it's talking about game planning and how to prepare and set goals for the audacious few. So I'd encourage that you check that out. I'm just about halfway through it now. It's already a fantastic book, not only showing you how to choose the right enemies and make sure you know what your targets are, but also how to plan and things like that and get ready for it. I'd encourage you to check that out. So in that book, he talks about that you can't manage what you don't measure. So you have to have a measurement for each thing, and then you can manage it. Hey, am I hitting these certain goals? Am I hitting these targets? Am I hitting these number of sales? So make sure that you plan, make sure that you have a way to measure, hey, am I living up to it? And then manage those in every aspect of your personal life and your business life. Again, every year I try to sit down and think of different health goals, which this past year I was able to really about double all my health goals and what I was hoping to achieve for this year, which is awesome. I had different spiritual goals, financial goals, goals with our family, and of course business goals. And all those things are measurable so that I can manage them. So I would encourage you, again, to do that and take a look at those things and get a plan on paper, get you an accountability buddy that you can look at and run ideas off of and things like that. So the second thing is don't wait around. So again, you see, I saw a meme the other day and it was talking about, renters that have been renting a house or renting an apartment for the past 8 years just waiting for the prices to drop of real estate. And it's like, if you would have just bought that home 8 years ago, you would be in so much more of a better financial situation than if you were just, waiting for prices to go down $20,000 or $30,000. So that's just a small snippet, an example of if you wait around too long, then, time's going to pass you by. My old football coach, he used to have a saying, not only make hay while the sun shines, but the opportunity of a lifetime is only available in the lifetime of that opportunity. So the opportunity of a lifetime is only available in the lifetime of that opportunity. So essentially it's saying you got to go for it. When it's time, then you got to make a decision. If you're too busy waiting around and just waiting on the perfect conditions, it will never happen. So that's what they say about getting married and having kids and starting a business. There's never the perfect time. You just have to make that time and you got to go for it. So that's what I'd say. Don't wait around. Just let's make it happen. Get your plan together, put it down on paper. There's no better time but the present to go for it and things like that. So the third thing is to get outside your comfort zone. Everybody's got a comfort zone and that's what you feel comfortable in. So for us, I like to tell people when we used to live in Birmingham, I had nice goals and dreams and things like that, but it was kind of, you were in the same old day-to-day thing. You went and shopped at the same places, you ate at the same places, you saw the same friends and the same people and things like that. It wasn't until we actually got outside our comfort zone, took a leap of faith, and moved down to the coast that really our life and our business has blossomed, like I said, personally and business-wise over the last almost 4 years now, because we got outside our comfort zone and made it happen. So obviously it's not easy to do. A lot of times, pretty much every time, it's not fun to do, but that's why they call it your comfort zone, because if it was easy and fun, that's just right where your competitors, that's right where the devil wants you to be, is just sitting at home, doing what's easy, doing what's fun to you. But when you get outside that comfort zone, going back to number one, you can plan it out, you can measure it, and then you can attain it and things like that. And just, again, there's no better time but the present to go for it. So that's what I would suggest for that. Last, fourth, and final point is to don't waste time on things that you can't control. So I think this is the biggest and most important thing for 2024. As we all remember, last election year was 2020, and we remember what happened in 2020 with just chaos. So I'm predicting, a lot of people are predicting 2024 is going to be a lot of chaos, again, with elections and economy and wars and things going on inside the U.S. and outside the U.S. And again, election year chaos that always happens. There's going to be a ton of things that are out of your control, that are out of anybody's control. So don't waste time on it. Don't say, oh, if these conditions, again, if these conditions add up, then I'll go for it. Oh, I just saw this got passed or this person got elected, so I'm just going to wait around for a couple years or whatever. You can make money. I love watching Gary Vee, like I've talked about before, but he has even said, hey, I've made money when Democrats are in the House or in the White House. I've made money when Republicans are in the White House. So again, it doesn't matter who's running things, you can always make money. Doesn't matter who's running. Now, of course, there are some small effects on different things with pricing and tourism and things like that you have to consider. But in the end, you can't control it. Nothing that you're going to do, you're wasting time watching TV, watching, election recaps and preparing for the election, all the craziness that news organizations throw out just to capitalize on money and eyeballs and things like that. In the end, you can watch just as much as somebody that watches zero, and you can both can control the same amount of those outcomes, which is zero. So you just have to work and focus on yourself and what you can control, and I think it's going to be the best year yet. So my final really piece of advice, again, it's kind of going back to number one, is make sure that you write down those goals. Like I said, I like to look at things, physical goals as in health and things like that, spiritual goals, whatever that is for you with your faith and church and things like that. Family goals, so whatever your goals may be as a family, whether it's to have kids or going on vacations or certain amount of money, things like that, which leads into financial goals. Financial and business is the fifth one, so business kind of ties in. Obviously, the better in business, the better financially. But that's also looking at your financial plan. What can you cut money? Where can you cut some expenses? What do you want to give more of, or give some time, or volunteer, give some money? Look at those finances, and then of course business goals that I spend probably the biggest of all five. I probably spend the same time on that one as those other four, because those four to me, I already know. I already know what some of my personal and family and financial and fitness goals are. Those are easy, but business goals, that takes a little bit more time, because again, there are things that are out of your control, so you have to take time to prepare. Hey, if this happens, what are we going to do? How are we going to, hire this employee or train these employees? Or what are we going to do if this happens or storm comes or things like that? So I spend a lot of time on business. Do it yourself, meet with your spouse, talk about it, and then meet with your business partners. Make sure that you're all aligned going into 2024 on the same page. And then the biggest thing is accountability. Again, if you have a spouse or a partner, if you have a business partner, then you can kind of keep yourselves more accountable. But make sure you have somebody that you can, go over once a month. Hey, am I hitting these goals? Am I hitting these things? Am I on track to hit these things? If you want to read a set amount of books, growing up, I never read books. I found a couple that were interesting this past year. My goal was to read 6. I looked and before summer I'd knocked 4 out that I'd already read, and then I finished at around 7, I think, once the year's up for this year. So kind of hit the goal there, but I kind of keep myself accountable. I have my wife that helps keep me accountable, and then business partners and things like that. So plan your goal, take time over kind of the holiday season when there's some breaks and bowl games are going on, just to jot down some of those things, go over them at dinner time, plan, and you will get there. So I hope everybody has a great 2024. I hope that these things helped out, and just remember that you can't manage what you don't measure. So make sure you put those measuring things out there, whatever it is, those goals and all that, manage it throughout the year, and I hope everybody has the best 2024. Hope you'll have a great year. See you next year.